So this is the finished soldier. I think that it actually turned out very well. Looks the part for like a general 1890 soldier, and that's kind of what I wanted to get into. That generally when I do alternate histories, I'm working on an alternate history where the Confederate secession, or Southern secession, at least it would be because the Confederacy wouldn't have happened. Uh, Southern secession actually leads to the collapse of the Union, and the United States becomes a bunch of balkanized little republics, and maybe like, if I'm feeling really wild, maybe like despotic countries and military dictatorships and all sorts of stuff like that. But generally, I feel as though if you want to design something before World War One, because that's when military fatigues and khakis would be sort of adopted en masse by most world militaries. You could take Victorian style, well, a bit mid-Victorian style military uniforms and add accoutrements from later periods to them, and I believe it reflects the sort of alternate history soldier pretty well, generally. I've done this before. I could actually get it up right now. This was another one from the exact same alternate history I'm doing. A Georgia Hussar, or Hussar? I'm not exactly sure. I just say Hussar. Georgia Hussar from 1890. It required almost, I would say, just about an even less amount of change, as I imagine that it is a very militaristic, fancy style of military dictatorship that this specific unit would actually lead. But uh, if we were to go back here, yeah, I'd say this turned out really well. We have the flag here, which it's kind of low res and doesn't look all that perfect, I'd say, but it doesn't really have to look perfect. It's just the flag. This is the main centerpiece, and I think this turned out relatively well. There are a couple other styles, but this is a very unique one that I wanted to do. Now, if I were to do Alabama, which I think will come down the pipeline sooner or later, hopefully, let's hope, um, I think that I like the style of Shako and stuff like that, and that'll be a really cool one to make. I think that I'd like to maybe make some support units, since I know there was a historical semi-auto rifle from the 1890s called the Pitcher rifle, and I imagine that they'd kind of use it like a sort of like a light machine gun would be used, and I think that'd be pretty interesting. So I'm glad to be back. Sorry that this is a very roughshod video. I have a bit of a stuffy nose, and I'm a little. It's 4:01 a.m. in the morning as I'm recording this, but I'm very excited to make videos again, and yeah, this turned out really well. I'll leave the in the description the link to some of the things that you could use. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.